Baltasar, congratulations on Adrift. It was such a beautiful, moving movie. And I was saying to Shailene and Sam, actually, a really romantic movie. We haven't seen a lot of these recently.
No, because it's kind of sad that most, movies like that have romance turn to the rom-coms, and there are no kind of real, real love stories that in other genres. Like I remember those films like Last of the Mohicans, which is a beautiful love story, but it's still has a lot of has action and it's a fun movie to watch. So. I think everything's saturated, like everything is in like, oh, it has to be this. Romance is only for women. If it's if it's that, and action is only for men. No, it doesn't have to be.
That's just it. Yeah. I mean, it's so funny. Like looking back on your career and seeing that you've made the sea, the deep. You're constantly drawn to ocean-set movies. What is it about the sea and filmmaking? Like, how did you make that connection? I suppose.
Well, I'm Pisces.
Yes.
Start with that. so that's kind of obvious connection. I was raised by the sea, basically the garden where I lived went down to the sea. I used to play on broken icebergs to my mother's agony, and in the winter. And then I started sailing at probably 10 or 8. I can remember, pretty early, and competitive sailor through my whole youth, and won a couple of Icelandic championships, and so the water has always been a huge part of me, and I feel like if I'm inland, not when I can't see the sea, I get desperate after a while. I've been in Arizona and this place, and I crave the sea, and I can't really explain it any other way. I love the sea. I actually loved. We used to, when we won competitions in the sailing club, we used to be thrown into off the harbor into the sea. And most people didn't like it. I loved it. I was like, can you throw me in, because I just love being in there.
But there must be so many like kind of impracticalities and challenges that come with, making a, movie on the water. Has it gotten over the years and over the movies any more easy, or are there always the same challenges over and over?
Well, the thing is that if you have that mind that you like challenges, you will create it anyhow. You'll make it more complicated for yourself. So it will be a challenge. And that's just, the way you wanna live your life, and I'm not looking for the easy way, but the experience does give you a lot of knowledge and confidence. I thought it was going to be way easier, by the way. I shot a film in the North Atlantic with no money, so I was swimming in the ocean for weeks. So this should be pretty easy, Fiji, and on a sailboat. But in the end of the day, no, it was very complicated in many ways, and it was challenging, but very. In the end, it was a great experience.
Brilliant. I mentioned before about the romance, and really key to the heart of this movie is, Shailene Woodley and Sam Claflin. They give 2 beautiful performances in this. What was it like, the process of casting them, and how did you know that they would be so perfect for these roles?
Well, it's always luck of the draw also. Like you have to go with your intuition, and cast. But casting Shailene she was my first choice for the role, because there's something about this West Coast energy of, like West Coast girl. And not the LA. It's more like San Francisco or Seattle. It's just like kind of nature, loving, free spirit, little light, kind of energy. Like, and Shailene is exactly that. And actually quite alike in many ways as Tammy was. And then, like a sweet, gentle British man, and which Richard, everything I could get my hands on was that he was very kind of gentle, and this line, as he says, he's so sensitive like a woman, is actually comes from Tammy, that he was sensitive like a woman, and so that kind of, finding them right for the roles and then putting them together, and Shailene was kind of, I was early on already in discussion with her. She had to like the man we cast, because it's, in the end of the day, it's more her film, and I think they hit it off pretty early, when they met, and it was just a great chemistry between them.
Brilliant. And just a final question, Baltasar. What can we expect from you next? I noticed this Hugh Jackman movie on your IMDb, The Good Spy. What can you tell us about that?
It's a fantastic story about an American spy that is befriended the Red Prince, which is a famous guy who used to work with Arafat, and had to do it behind the curtains because there was no connection between PLO and America diplomatic, and it's a very interesting story and true story. But I have quite a few other projects as well, which are some of them, adventures as well, the nature, part of nature. But it's something it's just too early to speak about.
Brilliant. Well, we can't wait to see them. Thanks so
And
much
Trap
for that.
2 is coming out, by the way.
Oh, yes?
Yeah,
Oh.
that will be in the fall.
I sailed halfway around the world to find you.
I'm not letting you go.